HOA crossed the fence and paid the price. The sound that made me spin around wasn't the fence rattling. It was my dog screaming, not barking, not growling, screaming, the kind of sound that freezes your blood before your brain even understands what's happening. I dropped everything and ran. Silva had never made that sound before. She was a trained ranch dog, loyal, protective, gentle with family. The kind of dog that naturally places herself between danger and the people she loves. As I rounded the barn, I saw her near the fence line, collapsed in the dirt, yelping and trying to stand, but failing. Standing over her was a man in a black vest. Bold white letters across his chest read HOA Cop. That's when I knew how bad this was about to get. Before we go any further, comment which country you're watching from. Let's see how far this story travels. To understand why a man wearing a fake HOA vest thought he could jump my fence and put his hands on my dog, you need the backstory. My ranch has been in my family for generations, long before any development existed within miles. Open land, clear boundaries, posted signs, private property, no trespassing. The HOA came later, expanding lot by lot until their manicured lawns pressed up against my fence line. And the moment they realized my land didn't answer to them, they decided it should. Karen led the charge. She showed up smiling, clipboard in hand, talking about community standards and shared responsibility. Then came the paperwork, maps, with conveniently redrawn lines, documents claiming my ranch fell under HOA authority. It didn't. I proved it with county records, deeds, and surveys older than her entire board. I told her politely that she had no jurisdiction on my land and that her people were not welcome. She didn't like that. The smiles disappeared. The threats started. She called my ranch a liability, said my fencing was non-compliant, claimed my livestock and dogs were a danger to the community. I reminded her again I was not part of her HOA. She reminded me she didn't care. So I did everything right. Formal notices, new signage, documentation, and I made one thing crystal clear. Anyone from the HOA stepping onto my property without permission would be treated as a trespasser. Apparently, Karen decided to test that. The fence he jumped was clearly marked, fresh paint, bold lettering. He would have had to look directly at the sign to swing his leg over. Silva did exactly what she was trained to do. She alerted, positioned herself, protected, and he struck her twice hard, right on the head. When I shouted, he turned slowly, annoyed, like I'd interrupted him. "Your dog is in violation," he said, gesturing at her like she was trash. "Aggressive behavior. Non-compliant animal on HOA-adjacent land. HOA-adjacent. You jumped a posted fence," I said, stepping closer. "You trespassed." "You assaulted my dog!" He puffed his chest. "I'm authorized to enforce standards." I looked at Silva, bleeding, shaking, unable to stand. That's when something inside me locked into place. This wasn't about paperwork anymore. This was a man who thought a fake vest gave him authority he never had. I stepped between him and Silva and knelt beside her. She whined softly, one eye already swelling shut. When I stood back up, my voice didn't shake. "You're done," I said. "Get off my property now." He smirked. "Your dog attacked an enforcement officer. That's a serious violation." "Enforcement of what?" I asked. "You trespassed. You assaulted my animal." He took a step toward me, not fast, not aggressive, confident. "That's what scared me. Karen said you'd be difficult," he said. "Said you'd try to complicate things." He lifted his radio like it meant something. "I'm giving you one chance to calm down," he said, "or I escalate." Silva tried to growl and couldn't. That sound snapped something in me. I drew my pistol, clean, steady, no hesitation. "Stop," I said. "Don't take another step." His confidence finally cracked. "You can't threaten me," he said, but his voice broke. "I'm not threatening you," I replied. "I'm ordering you to leave." He laughed. "You won't shoot. Ranch guys never do." He stepped forward again. That was the mistake. 2 controlled shots, center mass. No panic, no drama. He collapsed beside the fence he'd climbed. I kept my weapon trained on him while backing towards Silva. She licked my hand weakly, like she needed to know I was real. I called 911. "Armed trespasser shot. My dog is injured." Sirens answered before I finished the address. When deputies arrived, I set my gun down and raised my hands. They saw everything. The sign, the fence, the blood, the fake credentials. The vest that once gave him confidence now meant nothing. Karen arrived next, clipboard in hand, screaming about liability. That stopped the moment she saw real badges. Emails, texts, orders, all recovered. By sunrise, she was in cuffs. The man took a plea, 12 years in prison. Karen fought it, lost everything. 20 years. House seized. HOA dissolved. Silva recovered. Scarred but strong. The fence stayed. The sign stayed. And no one ever crossed it again. Because some boundaries aren't suggestions. They're warnings.